Hello, princesses, and welcome back to Not Fit for Print Beauty with me, Rebecca. Today, we are going to talk about all 4 of the Urban Decay Decades mini palettes. Did you guys hear about these little eye palettes? They're tiny little guys. Well, not tiny, but they're little guys. I got all 4 of them here. They are $25 each, and they might have escaped your radar. They almost escaped my radar, and I try to keep my ear to the ground, and they almost got away from me. You know, it's kind of funny. Their timing was perfect. Let me tell you why. I have been doing a lot of thinking about the way we change our makeup through the years and over the decades, especially because the 90s have been such a hot topic in makeup and clothing lately. When I did the new Scott Barnes palette, the Glamazon palette, that was inspired by all of the 90s supermodels and all the runway looks, and it got me thinking about how we did our makeup in the 90s. If you were around in the 90s to do it, I was just a little baby not wearing any makeup in the 90s. We all were, right? Okay, so I wanted to talk about that in general, and I was actually kind of trying to figure out a video doing different decades, and then these popped up, these palettes popped up. Not to mention, it has been a minute. It's been 3 minutes, really, since I've looked at anything from Urban Decay. You know, Urban Decay used to be such a go-to makeup brand, and of course their all-nighter setting spray is still incredibly famous. If you want your makeup to stay on your face all night, maybe you won't be the most comfortable, but it'll stay with the Urban Decay all-nighter spray. And they were just the go-to for so long, and they've kind of just faded in popularity a little bit. So it's really fun to dive back in and play with these guys. So we're going to swatch them. We're going to try on all 4 decades. I tried to keep the look on the rest of my face. I have no eye makeup on, obviously, but I tried to keep the look on the rest of my face very neutral, because I don't know about you guys, but when I get into playing with palettes like this, I want to veer towards the costumey side. You know, 80s, I want to put a scrunchie in my hair and like blast Debbie Gibson. And, you know, 90s, when I did my Scott Barnes Glamazon 90s palette, I wore a plaid shirt, a flannel shirt, you know, and I want to resist the urge to go costumey and have fun with the decades, but also just look at them as makeup, because you are spending $25 a pop on them, which is good. I mean, you get 6 shades in each. It's not bad, I should say, but it isn't, you're not going to want to be in costume. You're also going to want to wear these in 2020. And heck, maybe just looking at all these decades is just really fun right now, because we're in kind of a tough time right now, to put it mildly. So it's kind of fun to look at other times, right? So let's start, let's look at them, let's swatch them on the arms. And then what I thought I'd do is we do 1 decade per eye, take it off, and 1 decade per eye, right? 4 eyes, 4 decades. They didn't do the 60s. I'm so sad. That is my favorite decade. But I suppose, you know, where does it end, right? So let's start with our Boogie decade palette, which is obviously the 70s, right? So let's look at it here. You guys have to hear the names of these shades, which I'll read to you while we look at the arm swatches. But I just wanted you to just kind of see the palette up close first. Then when we break away right now, look at these arm swatches and I'll read you the colors. So as you're looking here, we have on the left, Disco Diva, Outlandish, I Like It, Glitter Scene, Club Hop, and Turn the Beat, obviously referring to Turn the Beat Around. It is a really pretty, really useful palette, and it harkens back to the 70s with those kind of really earthy tones, which is very 70s and 90s in a little bit different way, which we'll talk about in a minute. All right, let's talk about the 80s palette, a time period that is very close to my heart, and I'm sure you can guess what kind of colors these will be. You're right. Sorry, they're a bit messy since I swatched them, but I tried to clean them up a little bit. Those are very 80s, aren't they? So 80s. So mall culture 80s. Let's look at them on the arm. I left the 70s palette right next to it. Now I'm leaving all the swatches on my arm on purpose as we build, because at the end of it, I'd like for you to be able to see all 4 together in case you're trying to decide which one of the 4 to buy. So you will see the 70s palette on the left, and then to the right of it right here, you're going to see the 80s palette. Check out the names. Scrunchie is that real pink color on the left, followed by Superstar, Club Scene, Dance It Out, Like a V, which I guess is like a virgin, and Heart, spelled H-A-R-T, which is, I guess, talking about Corey Hart. If you were an 80s child, you'll know that he had a hit song with I Wear My Sunglasses at Night. So I'm guessing Hart, H-A-R-T, is referring to Corey Hart. I bet he never thought he'd end up in an Urban Decay 80s makeup palette, but he did. Okay, let's look at the 90s. This is getting closer to home. A lot of you will remember the 90s. Here is the 90s palette. So these are also earthy tone colors, but they do veer a little bit more grungy. And I should really be showing you, of course, look at the plaid, of course, that flannel color, and it's flannel on the front too. These are really cute. They're little cardboard packaging. This one's actually called 1993. So they stuck us right in 1993. Let me show you. This was the 80s outside cover and the 70s outside cover of these cute little, they have a little mirror and they just kind of slap closed like that. Now, what I'm going to do is leave the 70s and 80s swatches on my arm, and then above it on the left, you'll see the 90s. So let's go to that right now. And we have, again, some cool names. We've got Beep Me, followed by Seattle, 1969, Collect Call, Totally Rad, and Grunge. And by the way, 1969 is not called that. It's just called the two last numbers, 6 and 9. But we're a family show here. Okay. So that is the kind of grungy 90s. And I love how they refer to Seattle. It makes me think, oh, there was that movie. What was that called? Singles. Do you remember? It was such a quintessential 90s movie. And this really feels like that to me. That's a cute little movie if you've never seen it. And we end with the aughts. The aughts, which, my goodness, it's going to be 2021. The aughts were a long time ago. It feels like yesterday, but they were a while ago. So it's in this little packaging here with all these really thick chains, which I just love. Okay, and let's check out the colors here. I'm trying not to blind you with the mirror. I don't know how these colors are really aughts. I don't know what is the aughts. What was really huge? Why can't I really think of standout statements in the early 2000s? Well, Urban Decay says these, and what you're going to see now on my arm, let's first go through that top right. So that is our aughts shades, and they are called Throwback, Y2K, That's Dope, Ready or Not, Independent, and Baby Hair. I guess baby hair is that little fine, our hairstyles, our bangs were so fine, and the edges and all that started getting really popular. And then I want you to see all 4 of these little 6-pan palettes together. So you'll have 70s, 80s on the bottom, up top 90s, and then the aughts. So you can take a look at those together. All right, let's come back and try these on. I don't know about the formula. You know, Urban Decay was so hot and then so not hot. And when I had my fingers up in here, as you can see when I showed you the palettes, they felt really smooth and creamy. But swatches can be deceptive. They really can be. So let's play around. Okay, here's what I'm going to do to save my eyes and save some time and make everything look as beautiful as possible. We will literally go 70s, 80s, and then I'll take that off and we'll go 90s, aughts. And I'll put on the mascara for the last 2. We'll use our imagination for the first 2 for the sake of time and Rebecca's eye irritation. You understand. All right, so in the Boogie palette, we have all these beautiful 70s shades. No, I have not pre-planned. If you have been with my channel a while, you'll know that I drop things. But also, I don't pre-plan too much. Let's go in here with our Disco Diva shade. It'd be nice if I showed it to you. And I'm going to start here with this eye. Whoa! Okay, so it's a little bit, you know, I haven't worked with Urban Decay shadow in a while. It's a little bit, powdery, but it's on the eye really pretty. Okay, and I went in with that. Let's go in with I Like It. Here's a shade called I Like It. We'll put that in the crease. This is this kind of maizy type color. Is that a good? Okay, so we're going for a 70s look here. Works well so far. I'm just kind of going in circular motions. Took a minute to kind of get going. I could tell a tad bit of quality difference between this and, say, the creaminess of Charlotte Tilbury, but you guys, I'm being super, super picky. It's very pretty, and it does look very 70s, doesn't it? It does. Okay, let's play with some of these. Let's play with the darker color. Let me switch brushes here. Let's play with this darker color called Outlandish here. Okay, just kind of darkening the corner a little bit and using my fingers a little bit to clean it up. Nothing wrong with that. And let's go under the eye with Outlandish, that same kind of dark brown color. And I know you guys are going to want to see one of these. So that's what we have so far. Very 70s kind of disco. Let's take this really Turn the Beat. I guess that's from the song Turn the Beat Around, right? Shade. And let's just pop it in the middle and see what happens. Oh, that's really pretty. That's really pretty. This is my 70s eye look minus eyeliner and mascara. But I do get that 70s vibe from it. And though, like I said, the transition shades, the browns blended, but I had to work a teeny bit harder with them, but I'm not complaining. Okay, but it's not Charlotte Tilbury quality, but it's $25 for 6 shades. I'm not complaining. Oh, the 80s. Oh my goodness, what do I do with this? This is so not me. See, I told you I get excited and I buy this stuff and I want to get so costumey with it. Well, I'm going to start with our Corey Hart, I wear my sunglasses at night, shade here, and I'll just do that kind of all over the eye. That is a very pretty, very creamy. I'm really trying to find things to complain about, and I ought not to do that because there's really, these are fun. These are really fun. I really don't have any complaints, and that looks really pretty. Where do you go if you're me with this palette? Honestly, guys. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go with Scrunchie. This is an electric pink. I'm kind of scared. Oh, you know what? It's really fun. It's not too crazy. It's not too dark, and it's super, super 80s. Wow, is that 80s? Let's go under the eye with it too, and then that's so 80s. Okay, okay, let's do it. I'm gonna regret this. Okay, let's see. Okay, that blue skips a little bit. It does. It skips a little bit. Well, it's pretty 80s. And therefore not necessarily my cup of tea. So the blue went on smoothly with my finger, but I had to work with it a tad, and as you can see, it's a teeny bit patchy. This is gonna be my least favorite of the palettes, just because for me, it's also not incredibly wearable for every day. If you like these kind of colors though, and if it's your thing and you have blue eyes, wow, that would be so pretty. Just know you have to work with that blue a tad. We're not talking the best quality, but I'm impressed with the 70s one a little more. And the 80s one is certainly fun. I'm most excited about the 90s and the aughts. So we're gonna come on and do those, and then we'll put on our mascara with them. So stay right where you are. Okay, so we're back. I am clean-eyed. Again, the rest of my face very neutral on purpose. I'm already, as are you, forming some opinions about which ones are the ones to get, but we really haven't tried the stars of our show, which is the 90s and the aughts. So let's go into the 90s. Here are our, again, earth shades with a grungy lead to them. I don't know, this Beep Me, remember when everybody had pagers? That's what that refers to. That's not really calling me. Let's start with 6-9 here, this kind of beige color. And we'll go on this eye right here and just kind of put it all over. Sorry, you'd probably want to see, don't you? Okay, so, nice shade. Again, you guys, I will say I am spoiled by working with some higher quality but pricier shadows, but this is not bad. Look, that's really pretty. And then let's go in with Collect Call. That, for our younger members of our audience, is when you call someone and reverse the charges. We're all, right? So this is interesting. This is kind of a purpley brown, kind of an eggplant color. And it's very pretty. It doesn't want to work with me too well. Is it the brush I'm using? No, I'm using a Sonia G brush. It is. It's coming along. I gotta coax it a little bit. It's okay though. It's coming and it is pretty. Okay. Now, totally rad. What am I going to do? I want to go under though. I want to go under with Collect Call. This looks so brown, but it's kind of a purpley plum brown actually. Look if you can really see it on the eyelid. It's kind of a purpley color. Let's do this grunge green. It is called grunge right there on the lid. That's really pretty. And that went on with the finger really nicely and is a very 90s look. Not quite as high quality as the Glamazon 90s look from Scott Barnes, but really cute and really fun for 25 bucks. The aughts. Getting closer to our current time, but not quite there yet. Whoa, we have some duochromes in here. This guy's got a little shift on him here. Let me just show you. See if the camera, yeah, it picks that up. So that guy's got a little shift, so we'll definitely use that. Let's go in with Throwback, which is this kind of shimmering pearl color. Very pretty, very easy to apply. And that is really pretty and feels already actually very 90s. Then we'll go in with Independent with this kind of an orangey sparkle shade. Same brush, you know me and my quick looks. You guys are always laughing in the comments. You're like, gosh, you do put on your eye makeup quickly. Well, yeah, I do, guilty as charged. Oh, this feels very, I want to say guilty, not G-U-I-L-T, but G-I-L-T, guilt, like golden, you know? That's really pretty. That is really pretty. This is my favorite one so far. I'm going to go under the eye with that as well, that Independent orangey shade. Oh, that's really pretty. Look at that, you guys. And we're going to put on some liner with this one. And here is Y2K, and this is the one that had the color shift. It's not a very strong shift, but it's very, very pretty and does look very 2000s. Early 2000s. All right, let me put on some eyeliner and some mascara. I have definitely, I'm sure you do too, some thoughts to share with you guys on these palettes. Stay right there. Okay, we're back. I have added on a little Pat McGrath black coffee eyeliner and my new Lancome Idole mascara, which I just reviewed, and I will link that for you below. Putting aside the fact that I have two very different eye looks on, and that's a bit disconcerting, but we do have the 90s look on this eye and the early 2000s aught look on this side now with mascara and liner. So let's talk about these palettes. They are $25 for 6 shades. They are adorable, they are affordable, and they are fun. These are not the best quality, but they're not the worst. They're kind of mid-range. I think that, oh my goodness, the word that came to mind was useless, but that's cruel. I think that the 80s palette is superfluous among them. I don't love and I'm not drawn to these colors. So take that with, you know, a grain of salt then if you are. I didn't think they applied that well, a little patchy. To me, these aren't really workable colors. That's my opinion. I did enjoy the 90s and the aughts. The aughts seems to be the best one for me. Because it's got that duochrome, you know, I guess that's when duochromes really we started using duochromes. And I do like the 70s. I like all of them. I really do. And they're, like I said, they're really fun for what they're priced by. Do not expect to get these 6 shades and have them perform like a Charlotte Tilbury quad. Fair enough, right? But it was really fun to dip back into Urban Decay. I still really am enjoying these looks. I mean, like if I had both eyes done like this, that's really pretty, you know? And affordable and fun. So am I saying not to spend your money on these? Not at all. I really enjoy them. I just want us to all be aware of what they are. They are kind of throwback, fun, and really good for experimentation. Nothing wrong with even adding in the 80s palette because sometimes you just like need a pink, you know, and this would be an affordable way to add those in. So maybe I kind of take that back, but they travel well. They're cute in that little like cardboardy book style clicky way. And I think for the money, my favorite one is probably the aughts. For the money, you certainly wouldn't be wasting your money, but you're not getting the highest quality product. I certainly had fun with them. and I will enjoy having them in my collection. I'm kind of looking in the viewfinder trying to figure out what my favorite is. Did you guys even hear about these, or did they escape you? Like I said, they almost escaped me. What do you guys think? Did you have a favorite of the 4 looks? Keeping in mind I didn't wear mascara and such with the first 2, I know. But what do you guys think? And are these worth $25 a pop? Are you interested in them? Let me know, please, down below in the comments. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, which I hope you did. And if you have not already done so, boy, I would certainly appreciate you subscribing to my channel. Shopping links are below, hopefully for as many countries as I could get. So look for your country's flag down there. I appreciate when you can use those links, and I will see you in the next video. Bye, guys.